So, welcome to a new meme update video. We will talk today about, is HYMC already at its bottom? Will GME fall even lower? What the fuck is Bynd doing? Is high-cost mining now knifing? And is Trump media already finished with its pullback? And of course, what is the biggest meme stock in the world doing SPY? Are we going lower? Was this just a little pullback? And are we gapping up tomorrow? If you want to know more, just stay tuned. So, as always, I am using this method here, the fractal method. I will post the link to the explanation video at the end of the video, or you just search for the playlist fractal method. So, let's start with Bynd today. So, for Bynd, here is our bullish chart. And for Bynd, we still have two versions, but it looks more like the bearish one. For the overview, just in short, with Friday the 24th in October, we finished this big fractal. And since Friday in October, we are doing our higher low. So for the bullish version, we finished our higher low with all this. The thing is, for the bullish version, we already finished the big higher low in November 21. And since then, we are doing a small higher low. The only problem we have right now, we are coming very low for that. So this is still V under A. So for the bullish version, we really should start bouncing now. In that case, your next target would be something around $28 to $15 for your big A. This one. Then you will get the pullback to this trend line. Your next target would be 43 for your B. The only problem right now is we still have a gap open. This gap here. If you look at the regular hours here, you see this gap. Our V under A was here. In the best case, it would have been that we would have bounced here. We didn't. So we are doing right T right now. And here comes the stupid part. If this is your T, we still, this could be your V. Yeah, so let's zoom in. This is your last chance, in my opinion, for not falling. This would be your V here. This would be a tiny higher low. You are not allowed to drop under 86 cents. And then you would go from here. If you going under 86 cents, and this is only 1 cent away, I really think you will gap there. This gap. You will do that 75 cents, you will gap fill that. It should be quick, but still it's a gap fill. In that case, this whole thing isn't your higher low. This is just your T. This wasn't your V. And you still have to come down here, maybe doing a little higher low, and then you go. In that case, I really have to say this will be early mid-January. It won't be this week. Just saying. So let's see what's happening. I hoped for that we will bounce here. We clearly didn't. So I would lean more that we really have to gap fill this. And it also makes sense to do this just because that's the last gap we have. And most likely we won't come back down here again. Because here's your A. The pullback of A is something like this. If we even go that low, then you go up to your B 46, pullback, and then you go to your C. So it makes sense that you won't come back down here. And that's why you have to fill this gap. Let's see where we're ending on Friday. Maybe if we are really quick, we are filling this gap already on Friday. In that case, this would be my buy-in. Just a little warning. If you really knife through this and if you're really falling through this with volume and you come near this trend line, I would be very careful. Because in that case, I really don't want to break this trend. I don't want to break 60 cents, because if you break 60 cents, we can talk about reverse splits. Which wouldn't change anything with the fractal, but if you're in shares or in options, you're fucked. Yeah. So last line of defense is 75 cents. Gap fill and run. If you fall way lower, I wouldn't stay in this stock anymore. Okay, next one, DJT. So here's our DJT chart. Just for the summary, this is one fractal. We finished clearly this fractal in November 2025. We already did a small higher low here. Here a small higher low, which ended perfectly in a V&A. We even added a tiny higher low, which also ended in a V&A. And at the exact time when this higher low finished, we got merger news. And right now we are already doing our A, our little A. And also for this, if we take the fib from our absolute low to our absolute high, we take the 0.5 for our A pullback. And if we look here, this already could be the A pullback. Next target is middle B, and middle B is around $30. Just for the overview. We already did clearly our all-time highs, our C, our lower peak, our midpoint, and our T. What is missing for this whole thing is a higher low. We got this tiny one, but if you say that this is your L, this is your M, and this is your T, this shitty little higher low isn't working for me. So I still think, I mean, you have the chance that you just run. Yeah, perfect. If not, you will do a bigger higher low. So from this, a bigger higher low. You won't go over this trend line. You won't go over $34. You will come back to your V under A, which right now is exactly where we are. So this is your A. Let's delete this. This is your A. Somewhere in here would be your B, your C, lower high, midpoint T, and here is your V under A then. And then you start with the big move. I'm not saying this takes so long, because this, just for the showing, this could easily be something like this. Yeah, easily. Yeah, just, you can play the upside, but in the moment you see somewhere in this range a pullback and a lower peak, this is confirming, in my opinion, that we still have to come low to this low right now, $13. And then that's for me the buy-in. Your next real big A is at 60. your B at 80. And then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Okay, next one, Highcraft mining. Here, the chart for Highcraft mining. Here, just again for the summary, you can use my tracking or you just use symmetry checking. Symmetry checking is just like you taking this path pattern here, flip it on this side and read it from right to left. In that case, it would look like something like this, and it's kind of one-to-one. What does that mean? Well, we are looking for this pullback right now. And in my opinion, we already started it. For my tracking, this was the first factor. We already did our higher low. For the micro tracking, this was little a, little b, this here was little c, and our big A. And I already said months ago, we will get on December 25 our peak somewhere in this range. Well, and we got our peak on December 23rd. Nice. So what is our next target? Well, we could take the bars pattern. In that case, if we completely aligned it, our pullback target would be here at $2.73. I'm not really thinking that we're going that low. So what measurement we could still also take? We take the 0.5 fib from our absolute low to our absolute peak, and the 0.5 is here. So something in this range, $7, $8, $7, $5 is our pullback target for the A pullback. Careful, if you look back what we are looking for, you could easily drop, get one last bounce, and then you knife. In that case, it would be something around $11-ish bounce coming up, but not making a new high, and then you knife. But also this should happen pretty quick. You see, this is not something which you say it will go that slow. Yeah, it really should knife. And after you get this pullback in this range, your next move is B. And that would mean you will bounce here, go up to $80, $90. That would be your B. That would be here, this price action here. I don't think you will get a B pullback here, because back then we didn't do that either. We're just doing this bullshit sideways, and then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? So it looks pretty fucking nice for puts right now. And if you don't believe me, just wait for the bounce here and go into calls again. Okay, next one, Bed Bath & Beyond. And I really have to say, I was bullish in the last months. I really have to say I get bearish right now. Just for the summary, our fractal, our first one, perfect. In a V and a A, perfect. For the bullish tracking, we are doing higher low right now. The only thing with this is, here's our higher low. For the micro tracking, V, higher low, A, B, C, lower high, midpoint. Still today, this was our T, and this was our V under A. Perfect. And we would be in our higher low right now. Problem with this is, with this move today, this is wrong. We fall under our V. So this can't be V anymore. In that case, this was our T right now. And in the best bullish way, this T is with this move finished today. So to be still bullish, you have to bounce. And that's the stupid part right now. And that's why for everyone who isn't in position yet, I wouldn't recommend in doing so. Where is my... The problem is, in this area here, you have absolutely no support. Nothing. From this level back down to $4, you have no support. So yeah, in the best bullish way, you come lower, you bounce, and you run. Everything over $9.70 is bullish. The only problem is, because he has no support at all, you can easily just drop. Yeah. And here comes the bearish alternative. And that would mean for Bed Bath & Beyond, this wasn't your V. This isn't your higher low. This is your T. And in that case, you have to do a new low. And for it looks like we would have done this right now. And we would be right now in this section here. Confirmation for this is a gap down and a fucking knife. Yeah. You still have a tiny chance that you are here. Yeah, because if you look on the lower time frame, you also have here your M pattern. Yeah. So in the smallest chance of everything, you're somewhere in this range here. Yeah. But you really should start bouncing. If not, first of all, Bed Bath & Beyond will make new lows. And second, it will take time. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. Next one. HYMC. I won't talk about the whole thing today again. If you're really interested, I will also link the last video for this. In short, I'm looking for a run end of January, beginning February. I'm looking for a two-part squeeze because the same thing happened in 2020 and we will repeat 2020. My price target for our A is around 150, 130, 100. Then you will do a pullback here exactly to $8. The same we did in 2020. You will do push it and then you will go to most likely, it will be June, most likely 700-ish. This would be a C. You won't get a B pullback like in 2020. Did HYMC already bottom? Well, I was saying since weeks now, I'm only looking at this trend line. In 2019, it was resistance line. It was perfect breakout retest line. In 2024, it was resistance and support line and also breakout resistance line, retest line. And in 2025, it was the last time you touched this trend line before you did your higher low and went to your little squeeze. Well, and I said my price target is around 160, 157-ish. So we came back last Friday. We came to 161. As long as this is holding, this is our V. So if this is our V, what are we doing next? The thing, in my opinion, every other YouTuber, predictor, who were wrong since 5 years are telling you we will squeeze from this V. We never did that. We didn't do that in 2025. We didn't do that in 2024. We didn't do that in 2021. So of course we will do it now. Makes sense, right? So if I'm wrong, we will squeeze tomorrow. Yeah, I know that the predictions were because we will squeeze this week, because 7 days after OPEX. I just don't see it. Yeah. So if I'm wrong, yeah, okay. Any day now, we will squeeze. Maybe Friday, maybe Monday. If not, and I'm right, if you look, how long did the V take, the higher low take in 2021? It took you 9 days. How long did it took you in 2024? It took you 24 days. And how long did it took you in 2025 without the channel? 26 days. So I don't think it's far-fetched to say it will take you now 28 days. So if Friday was our bottom and we are not falling under this, our our target for ending the higher low is Friday the 23rd, and Monday the 26th would be a squeeze target. What would we do till then? Well, higher low. A, B, C, L, M, T. And if you see the V under A, that's your buying target. Yeah. Yeah. Just two things, because I see that so many times. First of all, just only my opinion, okay? I could be wrong. But in my opinion, everyone who is comparing this bullshit here with May has no clue what we are talking about. And especially if these persons are saying we will repeat May, well then good luck. If these persons are saying we will squeeze like in May and it will be a one-part squeeze, yeah, okay, then we still will do a higher low. Maybe fine. If they are convinced we are squeezing from the V, okay, then we squeeze next week. Fine. We're doing a one-part squeeze. These two versions here, May 2024, May 2025, were the only ones where we did a one-part squeeze. In that case, we will do also a one-part squeeze now, but I tell you, we won't break this trend line. That is what you will get if you want a one-part squeeze. You won't go over this high, you won't go over $13, and if we do that in January, most likely we will reject at $10. That is what you are getting if you're tracking May. It's not May. I mean, it could be May. In that case, we most likely right now are here. Then it's May. Then you will get your dry peak, bad years, whatever. And this will be 2026. If you want that, fine. I don't want that. And I don't see that. Otherwise, we will track 2020 and 2021. And in that case, we will get a two-part squeeze. And we need a fucking higher low. Also, what I saw is that HYMC made a new all-time low, but we don't care. We're just still saying we're still in this. This here is still a higher low. I mean, everyone can have its own opinion and everyone can have its own tracking, but to say that this bullshit here is the same like this and that we are not in a new all-time low and we are still in a higher low, I have no words for this bullshit when I see this. The all-time low landmark for HYMC tracking is if not the most important landmark you can have. It's the most important landmark. It's the most important landmark in May 2024. This back then was also not a higher low. This was an all-time low. It would be the same like, yeah, we are still in this. No. This is the most important landmark. It's ending in an all-time low. It's making a higher low after that, and then we squeeze. it's I really can't. No. And of course, if anybody is telling you we will squeeze from the bottom, instant high, okay, we never did that. And I'm already showing that on all other tickers. Not even any other stock is doing that. Of course, if you go on the monthly chart, yeah, then we squeezed from the low. I mean, even here you could see it. But on the monthly, you can say, yeah, we squeezed from the V. Also in 2020, we squeezed from the V. But that's the monthly chart. Even if you look at the daily, you always see a high low. Always. So, don't believe me. Just wait for it. Okay, and last one. Jimmy, also for a short summary. Since IPO till May 2020, this was just your A. Mid April 2020 till April 2024, this was just our B with the pullback. And our next movement since then till today is just higher low. So whenever this is finished, my price target for our next all-time high is around 300, maybe 400-ish. Why? Why not 5,000, 10,000? Well, just because of this trend line. Maybe we go a little bit over it, but I don't think so. Yeah? So this is my price target for the next high. So what are we doing right now? Well, if you look at this, we still, on the lower time frame, we still have to finish our T. And here comes the next bullshit I'm always seeing. This is higher low. I mean, okay, I said in the last videos, you had the chance that this was your higher low here. Because it was a V under A and we bounced on it. With that drop today, no. If we look at EMAs, let's wait for the EMAs, they are curling down. On the 1 hour, on the 8 hour, on the daily. No, just no. I mean, you can still track it like that, fine. Maybe we get a wonder, some miracle, and we suddenly just going up. Fine. Yeah. For my tracking still, this is your T. This is your peak. You see your lower high, your midpoint, and this here today was our T in the small tracking. And in that case, you have to come down under 19.61. There's also only one way you can still look at it, and that would mean that you will fall, you will come up again, you won't come up here again, and then you fall. What is my price target? Well, my price target is 1758. And in the best case, we're coming down there as quick as possible, doing a small higher low also into Jan 2020, 23rd, and then HYMC is also finished with its higher low, and then we go. Yeah. But I already, and I tell you that, I already see that coming. Yeah. If we're doing this pullback, this knife, this week or next week, and we knife down here, I already hear the voices. That's not a new low. This is still a higher low. Yeah. So, I showed last time. I still saw the possibility, if this would have been the bounce, that you will come up here around 30 for your A, pullback into January 23rd. Same like HYMC and both go. With this pullback today, no. I really think our next target is something in this range. In that way, I really have no if this and that, but really, for it looks like we are right now here. That's why I also said there's maybe a possibility that you get a little bounce, but your target is still alive, and you will do that. And also to say that I'm pretty convinced, and I know people will hate me for this, January 16 contracts, because there are some YouTubers who are still saying, buy them. They are 100% safe. I tell you, because I'm not saying 100%, but I'm telling you 90% they are fucked. Yeah. And you won't ever hear from me. Buy 2 months out contracts and they will be 100% safe. You will never hear from me, buy 6 months contracts and they will 100% safe. Because you can't say that. You really can't say that. Stop watching people who are saying, yeah, buy 1 year out contracts and they will 100% safe. That's stupid. You have your levers, and if something is going wrong, then act. Look if the tracking is still perfect. If not, go out of contracts. Wait for the next landmark. Buy even further out. But I tell you, in January 16, we will have so many backholders again. So many people most likely will lose their money because some idiot said it's higher low. There's no other way. Okay. Sorry for the rant. One last thing. SPY. So I said yesterday I was pretty bullish on SPY. And of course, the fractal god said, fuck you. We go down. Okay. Today, only one bullish, one bearish alternative. The bullish one would mean this here is the same like this here, is the same like this here, is the same like this here, and most likely is the same like this here. In that case, you really should gap tomorrow. Yeah, there is no more downside. You should just go. And then again, our old targets are still there. 703 for B, and for the most bullish thing, which I don't think we will get this week, 716. If you're not gapping up tomorrow, well, then the bearish alternative from yesterday still stands. This was our B peak, and our pullback target is 680. There is no way around that. Yeah, it's only, what is it? Yeah, 1%. Easily doable till Friday. Friday would be the bounce most likely, and then you go. I mean, maybe you're already doing that tomorrow. Okay. In that case, when is? Yeah, Friday is no market. So if you're doing that on Wednesday and you see the bounce, it would be a buy. Then your next target are still 716, 703 for your C. You're still looking for a C. But with this today, I'm leaning more to we are not gapping up tomorrow. We will go down tomorrow. So maybe Fractal Gods, you don't fuck me this time, okay? For the small tracking, this here would be, this here, make it bigger. This here would be a lower peak. This today at market close was your M. So in that case, you have to come lower than this. One up again, this is your T, and then you do your 0.5. Yeah. So, yeah, I was looking for a gap up today, but especially these predictors who said, yeah, we 100% gap up today because HYMC and HYMC has to squeeze this week. I should already have known that we knife today. Yeah. But okay. Let's see what we will do tomorrow and this week. As always, if you liked it, leave a like. I will put the explanation video here. The meme playlist I will put here. And if you don't hate me too much, you can give me a number. See ya.